So we shall now go on to the next case, another very versatile surgeon, Dr. Minu Martin, who has won accolades and awards for his teaching pearls in so many international conferences besides the national ones. And he's a senior consultant cataract and refractive surgery from the Chaitanya Group of Hospitals. And we are going to learn some more from his video. So let's hear from Dr. Minu. On to you.
Yeah, is my video
Yes.
visible?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chitra, for this opportunity, and good afternoon, everyone. So I am showing two cases. This is one patient, young patient, post TRAB and an IOL implanted. This is a single piece hydrophilic IOL which was in the sulcus, and it had, and the capsular rhexis had phimosed so much and with fibrosis, and the lens was decentered. So we had to exchange this lens. So this lens can easily be brought out because it is in the sulcus. So that has been explanted. And now I am looking at the edge of the fibrotic area. So this is the rhexis margin, but the edge of the fibrotic area was very much away from it. It is heavily fibrosed and stuck. After a lot of difficulty, one small area was found out, but partially it came out, and some other new areas we gently, bluntly dissected, still finding only pieces of this fibrotic area come out. But suddenly I see one area here which has Elsnick's pearls coming out. So that means that was an opening which was there in the anterior capsule. So through that I'm putting sodium hyaluronate. See the way the wave of viscose separates the anterior and the posterior capsule, and the bag opens up. It comes out almost fully except this area of fibrotic area. That area has to be cut. So I cut that area and then now do a rhexis of the anterior capsule beyond the fibrotic area. So it becomes slightly larger, but then we can do it very controlled and include the fibrotic area and open up the anterior capsule. So this is one way of trying to identify your bag and open up your bag so that the IOL goes into the best location. So once it comes towards this area of fibrosis, again it has to be cut, and it is easily cut because that also separates with the viscodissection. That is done. I was very happy. I could just peel off this one. So I just pulled a little, and suddenly I realized that there is an opening which has been created in the posterior capsule right here. So anyway, I have to remove this fibrosis which is right in the visual axis. So I do a posterior capsule rhexis also along the side of this fibrosis, and the 360 degree I am able to complete the rhexis. Now we have an open capsule because the patient opted for a rigid IOL for monetary issues. Otherwise we can place any the 3-piece IOL or even a single piece IOL going into the bag. So here I place a 3-piece IOL into the bag and a very good central opening of the PC, and I am making sure here that the haptics are underneath the rhexis margin. So saving the bag is very important, and this is the second case. Another young patient after an RD surgery, they wanted me to leave the patient aphakic after phaco. So rhexis is quite large, but then the fibrosis of the posterior synechia which you see here is complete and very dense posterior synechia. So very gradually we have to identify some area, free area, and then even with many instruments, Sinskey or cyclodylus spatula or even microforceps has to be used to separate it off. You see the inferior PI also here, and this was during silicone oil removal. So now I see that the central part is very clear. I could easily place a 3-piece lens in the sulcus. That is another option. But because I wanted to identify whether the bag is available or the rhexis is available so that we can place the lens into the capsular bag, I tried all over the rhexis margin, could not find an area, free area, but suddenly I realized there is a weak area here, and that has opened up. And again through that area I can inject sodium hyaluronate into the bag and see the wave of viscoelastic progressing. It progresses very nicely till this area of fibrosis. Again there is an area of fibrosis here. Now you can see that I am removing the fibrotic area from the edge so that a rhexis margin or a cut edge is created, and I inject sodium hyaluronate on the other side also. So almost 360 degrees it is opened up, and this fibrosis I am trying to cut, but unlike the other previous case, it is not, I am not able to dissect it. It is firmly stuck, but I just leave it. All the rest, 99% of the bag is open, and here you can see this continuous opening in the anterior capsule under which single piece IOL is placed without rotation because this area is stuck here, and so the single piece IOL can also go into the bag. So whenever possible, especially in young patients, I would like to see the opportunity of having a capsular bag opened up and place a lens into the capsular bag for the long term. Thank you very much.
Very amazing videos, Dr. Minu. Now, we do know that very severe capsular phimosis can occur in some eyes like RPs, very high myopes, or it could also be in the pseudo exfoliation. Now, Dr. Ramurthy, I wanted to ask you, in this particular case, would you have thought of placing a CTR in the first case had there not been a PC tear? Because the process of phimosis itself can loosen the zonules, no, because of the contracture which is happening in the center. Would you want to consider a CTR to be placed, which will give keep the bag more centered? We have thought of it in that point.
Very beautiful surgery, but I might have handled it a little differently in the sense that even in the first instance, I would have used an anterior vitrectomy cutter to fashion out the central area, which is a really fibrous capsule, to go ahead and create, and especially in these capsules, once you create a small opening, then you can, with a vitrectomy cutter, you can almost fashion out a circular opening. Anyway, the lens was being, and it could even be made up of a 4.5 or a 5 millimeter size, roughly, and then you can create a nice optic capture. And in case the PC also has to be handled, that can also be handled if it is necessary. Again, in the second case, though he did it beautifully, I think there was silicone oil, and he did mention that silicone oil removal was necessary. Maybe I would have just asked my protein segment colleague to go ahead and remove the silicone oil as well as create a nice opening in the center, take out the capsule, and he or she herself could have placed the intraocular lens in the sulcus, or I would have gone ahead and placed the lens. Because I think posterior segment approach might have been a vitrectomy cutter, would have been much easier. Of course, with his surgical skills, we managed the patient the way he wanted.
And as far as the second case is concerned, in a silicone oil filled eye, PC plaque is something which you could expect. So, Dr. Gaurav, what other ways would you think of handling them? Like, if you're not able to get a plane of cleavage to peel the plaque off, what other things would you think of doing? Because you are little stuck about doing the YAG laser, no? Because you're concerned about the posterior segment complications which could happen. So.
Ma'am, in fact, what I do a lot of these eyes which are post vitrectomy eyes, and mostly, now in the early days we would sometimes do a oil removal through the thing, and trying to be heroic and all, but it's not a very controlled way to do it, and now we don't do it like that at all, like simultaneous cataract surgery with oil removal through the capsule, because it becomes totally uncontrolled, and sometimes with the pressure of the silicone oil you'll have a capsule which cannot be managed very well. So I would always do these two things separately, or at least when oil is present and there's no plan to remove it at that point, then cataract surgery can be done. It becomes more challenging, and then polishing the plaques is even more challenging because you don't want to damage the PC at any cost when with the oil in situ. So and these capsules are very friable as well. So if you try to polish them, sometimes, just that act of polishing them will sometimes cause a PC break to happen. Now, if it's a vitrectomized eye where the oil has already been removed, then it's not much of a problem because these breaks in the PC will not extend and you can kind of convert them into a small rhexis. But if there is a oil in situ, then one has to be very, very careful. And I would not like to really polish them very hard. I would just kind of leave them for later, and maybe at that point just do whatever best cleaning up act is possible and put a lens implant. And later on, once the SOR has been done, at that time they can create a small PC opening with the cutter that would be much more controlled at that point by the posterior segment surgeon, rather than me trying to do something at that time.
I would just like to interrupt in the sense, one moment. In the sense, these are not PC plaques, or these are not something which can be peeled off or separated. These are basically fibrosis of the posterior capsule.
Absolutely. So it cannot be polished.
Nothing you can polish or peel off. You have to.
In fact, much of it is sometimes behind the PC actually, and it's like the deposits, right. Fine deposits, and there is fibrosed capsule. So you try to do something, you won't be able to do much with it anyway, and you'll just end up causing a break.
Yes. Is there anything else anybody would like to add, or we can go on to our next speaker? I think we have covered it all. Anaga, anything to add? Okay, she's not there.
Thank you.
Is Dr. Ritika Sachdev.
Excellent surgeries, ma'am.
Yes, excellent.
Learning files.